Phoebe is very excited because it's Holy Week. Just one more week until it's Easter Sunday. This is such a special week, barked Phoebe. What are we going to do today? Today is the owl's Passover. Every year, the owl family invites their friends to come and celebrate Passover before Easter. Right on time, said Grandpa Jack. Well, they wouldn't want to be late for this, squawked Akinom. On my back, Boris. I'll take the biggest first. We make a great team, said Granny Mariah to Sean. You take James and I'll come back for Phoebe. I don't really need a ride, said George. It's just good fun. Inside, the owls had made their box look all sparkly and special. This is the cedar plate, said George very proudly. It helps us to remember the story of the Passover. And the story of Easter, said Sean. Look, there's a cross and an Easter egg, but it's not chocolate. I always want to play football with my Easter eggs. Here, to you, Akinom. It's definitely not chocolate. But at least it's hard-boiled, said Phoebe. Thank goodness, said Boris. Otherwise, I'd be wearing the egg. Never mind eating it, barked Sean. Why'd you have 4 cups? Asked James. All will be explained, said Grandpa Jack. But first, Granny Mariah will light the candle and say our blessing. Blessed be the Lord, the God of the universe. We raise this first cup to thank God for rescuing us, to make us his holy people. As everyone drank from the first cup, George was busy. Here's some lovely warm water and a nice soft towel. Ooh, said James, that's very kind of you. It reminds me of what Jesus did with his disciples at the Last Supper. It reminds me, said Sean, that we need to take care of each other, the smallest and the biggest. Well, thank you, said George, for letting me serve you. I feel a bit like Jesus now. I love the fact that he celebrated Passover too. He did indeed, said Grandpa Jack. It was the night before he died, his Last Supper. He was the new Passover lamb, which is why we have a cross, not a bone on our Passover plate. Next to the cross was the bowl of salt water. We dip the green parsley into the water, said Granny Mariah. It tastes like our tears, said Boris, which reminds us that God is with us even when it's difficult. Ugh, it tastes awful. I quite like it, said Sean. Well, it's because Jesus was brave on the cross, said Boris, that I can be brave when things are difficult. Putting the cross down, he picked up the unleavened flat bread. This is the bread they ate when they escaped Egypt. That's right, said Grandpa Jack, and he told them the story again of Moses and the Exodus. And before they drank the second cup, the cup of freedom, there were 10 drops of wine for the 10 plagues the Egyptians faced. These bitter herbs are another reminder of how difficult slavery is. We have to taste it, said Akinom, so that we don't forget. Ugh. First we tip the bread in the bitter herbs by itself, so we can really taste it. Then we add the sweetness of the apple and nuts to remind us that God's goodness is always with us. There's so much to learn in a Passover, said Boris. A holy meal for a holy week, said Grandpa Jack. So much to think of, said Phoebe, and look, it's nearly all gone. We raise the third cup as we thank God for his great power. I thank him for giving me my family and friends, said Sean. I thank him, said Boris, that I can talk to him in prayer. I thank him, said George, that faith is growing inside me, like this bush. The friends felt they had so much to thank God for. They sang some of their favourite praise songs. When the Passover came to an end, Granny Mariah put out the candle.
a perfect way to get ready for Easter.